Well, another scintillating day of Test cricket in Kanpur in that first match between India and New Zealand. Really looking good now. This has been engrossing Test cricket, really. India were 145 for 4 on the first day. Then debutant Shreyas Iyer, of course, scored that brilliant century with a 50 from Ravindra Jadeja, of course, followed by a half century. That effort was followed by a half with a half century from Shubman Gill in that first innings, which enabled India to post 345. New Zealand, in response, were brilliant. And a 151 run opening stand between Tom Latham and Will Young. But the collapse started this morning again, after this afternoon rather. Remember, New Zealand had gone into day two stumps at 121-29 for no loss. And by the end of day three, this game has completely changed, as it does in India so very often. Now, how the way it stands is India lead New Zealand by 63 runs. And why I say this is a slender advantage for India is because of a couple of factors. I'll just come to that. India bowled out for 345 in the first innings. New Zealand bowled out for 296 in their first innings. And now India 14 for 1. Of course, Kylie Jamieson getting rid of Shubman Gill there. Top efforts from the New Zealand openers. Will Young, 89, unfortunate to miss out on 100 after batting so well. And Tom Latham missed out on 100 by a whisker, by 5 runs, 95. One of the 5 victims of Axar Patel. He was looking good in up until his 60s and 70s somehow. Thereafter, he changed his game to try and negate the turn and the bounce that the Indian spinners were getting. The ball stayed low mostly throughout, and that's something, the variable bounce is something that has begun to trouble batsmen clearly now. With look at the following scores now. Kane Williamson 18, Ross Taylor 11, two of New Zealand's most prolific run scorers across formats, two of New Zealand's leading run scorers in Test cricket didn't come through. Henry Nicholls, another very dangerous batsman, going out for 2. There was a bit of a contribution from Kyle Jamieson lower down the order. He batted out 75 balls, more critically scored 23 runs, which kind of helped New Zealand try and inch towards that Indian first innings total. 49 runs was the lead that they had, and now going to stumps at 14 for 1. This is now beginning to look really interesting. Axar Patel, word of praise, 7th innings and his 5th 5-wicket haul. He's just getting better every time he comes out. Remember, he had a sensational debut against England where he took 27 wickets from those 3 test matches, and now he's bowling superbly again. Of course, in the company of Ravindra Jadeja and R. Ashwin, who has now taken 3 wickets. He himself is inching close to Harbhajan Singh's record of 417 test wickets. Can he go past Harbhajan in this very test match? That remains to be seen. Of course, there's plenty of cricket to be played now, but Axar Patel was wily. He was just absolutely spot on. The 3 Indian spinners did not let New Zealand run away with it. They kept the pressure on. They blocked up the runs. They dried up the runs, and eventually they were rewarded for some splendid and patient bowling. Axar Patel, of course, reaped rich dividends, 5 wickets for 60 odd runs. R. Ashwin was looking good throughout, and he finished with 3 wickets, and then 1 wicket for Ravindra Jadeja, one for Umesh Yadav as well. He has been a workhorse. Remember, not very easy for pacers to operate on slow pitches without a lot of bounce. He had been one of India's crucial cogs in that wheel in the 2016-17 extended home season 4-5 years back. And now, again, just at the stroke of lunch, he got rid of Kane Williamson with a peach of a delivery. This was, of course, before that dramatic collapse started. They were 129 for no loss. Again, New Zealand at stumps on day 2, and they were shot out for 296. They would have wanted to get a few more, but they would have been relatively pleased with the way things went towards the end, inching close to India's target. Now, why do I say it's a slender advantage? Because A, you've lost Shubman Gill, who scored that half century in the first innings, and VVS Lakshman in that post-match, in one of his post-match analysis on the host broadcasters, did say that he has this problem with leaving a lot of gap between bat and pad, and good bowlers like Kyle Jamieson. He's the fastest New Zealand bowler now to reach 50 test wickets ahead of Shane Bond and Chris Martin. These bowlers of such quality are going to exploit that chink in the armor. And now you have Mayank Agarwal and Chiteshwar Pujara, the two overnight batsmen for India. Mayank Agarwal making a comeback into the test side only because Rohit Sharma was rested, only because KL Rahul was injured before the series started. Pujara, again, he needs runs. He needs runs under his belt as well, doesn't he? They have to get going. Anything over 240, 250 on a final day surface where the ball is beginning to do so much from the hands of the Indian spinners will trouble New Zealand. New Zealand wouldn't want to chase those many. Can they wrap it up quickly with a couple of wickets, a couple of early blows in the morning? The wickets haven't been very easy to come by in the first session, the first and a half sessions. So that is, can India use that momentum and get some quick runs? Mayank Agarwal, we all know, is capable of doing that. Pujara is capable of doing that. He has sometimes been questioned over a strike rate. Um, then there's Ajinkya Rahane again, not really in the thick of things as far as runs are concerned. He'd want some as well. And then Shreyas Iyer, of course, in top form. You have batting depth as well with the likes of Ravindra Jadeja, R. Ashwin. Riddhiman Saha, remember, has a stiff neck. He did not keep wickets. We don't know yet what his situation is as far as his fitness is concerned. Can he come out and bat? When will he come out and bat? All those things will weigh heavily on the Indian camp. And of course, New Zealand will want to expose a few of these weaknesses. Pujara's form, Rahane's form, Mayank Agarwal, can he stay there, get some runs? Of course, Shreyas Iyer playing his maiden test match, got that brilliant 100 in the first innings. He will be the man again to look out for as far as India concerned. Can he get some more? And can India need those quick runs? The India have been in this situation before. Opposition teams have come, they've got to good starts, and then suddenly they've seen a dramatic collapse, and the game has turned on its head. Here, it's a slender lead. Like I said, 49 runs was what they had at the end of the New Zealand innings. Now they have gone to stumps with a lead of 63 runs, have India. You'd expect India to want to score about 200, 250 runs from here on. They want to bat most of tomorrow and get as many runs as possible. 200 runs, 220 runs with a lead from here on, and then ask New Zealand to chase down 270, 280 in a little over three sessions. That's partly late afternoon tomorrow and three sessions on the final day with the ball doing a lot. And rest assured, the three Indian spinners will come into business. Umesh Yadav, again, a very dangerous customer. He will be someone that you'd want to watch out for as well on a final day pitch, which is wearing and tearing. Also, I was a little, taken aback with Ajinkya Rahane's captaincy. He's proven to be a good leader, he's proven to be a good tactician, but Umesh Yadav, probably he would have expected him to bowl a little more after he got Kane Williamson out towards the end, where he, just before this final session, before tea, he got on Ishant Sharma for a couple of overs, 3, 4 overs. Would have wanted to see Umesh Yadav really come and challenge New Zealand's lower order with his variations and with his ability to really get the ball to talk on these surfaces. But it is what it is. Axar Patel, what can you say about him? He's just come in and shown what he's capable of. All those hard yards he's done in the domestic circuit, all those hard yards he's done in this backyard, it's finally paying off. And a lot of people are saying, it's not as easy as Axar Patel is making it look. It's five wicket hauls in 7 innings in his fourth test match. He says his teammates are not teasing him. He spoke to the broadcasters after the day's play, and he says now his teammates are beginning to tease him. There's some inside dressing room jokes as well, figuring out what Axar Patel must be going through at this moment. And some experts are saying, of course, it's not that easy, and he should make the most of his tremendous form while he can. Himadri Chakravarti is asking some few questions here. Why are the leg spinners a dying art in Test cricket? I don't think it's a dying art in Test cricket. Overall, you look at leg spinners to begin with, you see a lot of quality leg spinners in the T20 format. But as far as India is concerned, you have someone like Yuzvendra Chahal, you have someone like Chahal, you have someone like Rahul Chahal there, who's part of the India squad currently touring South Africa. They haven't really, because of the likes of Ashwin and Jadeja, they're in the side already. And remember, Axar Patel got to play against England because Jadeja was injured. He had a fracture, whereby he couldn't play that Test series, and Axar Patel made an immediate impact. But I don't see the day. I can see the day, which is not very far, for someone, a good quality leg spinner, to come in and make an impact in Test cricket as well. And also the fact is that these momentums keep shifting. Remember when after the Champions Trophy 2017, you suddenly India went to Kuldeep and Chahal, the tourist spinners, and suddenly you heard comments coming thick and fast saying that finger spinners are no more the big deal in in limited overs cricket. And you come and see what Ashwin has done recently in the T20 format. You've seen what Jadeja has continued to do as well, and the likes of Washington Sundar. In fact, they've all of them have have had some impactful performances as well. Well, then that's all that we have. Like I said, New Zealand have they were bowled out for 296, given India slender advantage. India 345 all out, New Zealand 296 all out in response, thanks to Messrs. Latham and Young. Tom Latham scored 95, Will Young scored 89. But the record in chief for India, Axar Patel, with his fifth five-wicket haul in 7 innings. And now India 14 for 1 at stumps with an overall lead of 63 runs. Can they come back tomorrow and press home the advantage and get about 200, 220 runs from here and put New Zealand under real pressure on the final day on Monday? Well, before I go, here's also a quick update on, by the way, on the test match between Bangladesh and Pakistan, where Bangladesh fought back remarkably after an early collapse. They were 60 odd for 4, 69 for 4 or thereabout, and then went on to score 330 thanks to a brilliant 100 from Liton Das, who had that big, massive partnership with Mushfiqur Rahim. Unfortunate to miss out on his 100 by 9 runs. Mushfiqur Rahim 91. In response, though, Pakistan has started brilliantly with Abid Ali and Abdullah Shafiq. Abid Ali is 93 unbeaten. Abdullah Shafiq is unbeaten on 52. And Pakistan have gone to stumps in the first test against Bangladesh at Chattogram at 149, at 145 for no loss, beg your pardon. So that's shaping up to be another very good cricket. You've seen some scintillating cricket in the subcontinent in Asia over the last week or so. This match in Kanpur is heading out to be quite a riveting game, as you would expect, between the world's top two teams: New Zealand, the defending World Test champions; India, who were the runners-up in the World Test Championship. They are now locking horns, and this is looking like a very, very competitive Test match. We'll get back to you, of course, on Sunday with more of what's going down in Kanpur on the penultimate day of the first Test match. Thank you for joining me. Please do subscribe to Sports Today. Please keep your comments coming. Please keep your opinions coming. We are trying to get you as much of sports and analysis as we can on this channel. Thank you, and thank you for your support. Have a good evening.